So our next guest we're so excited to welcome is Crystal Meier. She is one of our students here, one of our instructors here. She actually works and runs our ASD program, which is super impactful and incredible, and we'll dive into that a little bit. But Crystal, if you could just start by telling us a little bit about your journey with horses.
Sure. So first of all, I hate being the center of attention. So this is only for you.
So good. You're so pretty.
This is why we're all in the shot.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah, it's not
lovelies.
just you. It's not just you.
I got my
support.
Barn don't care.
That's right. So my journey with horses. So the first time I sat on a horse, I was little. I don't even remember. I know I started riding when I was 4. I come from non-horsey people, so it was a learning curve for my parents. But they allowed me to chase my passion, and I am thankful for that. So I was a pony clubber. I then moved into showing in the 100 jumpers. I was a competitive rider until I graduated from high school, sold my last competition horse to pay to go to university. And then I spent 17 years away from horses. I worked in critical care medicine, so a respiratory therapist. I had 5 kids. And then have journeyed back into the world of horses later in life, which has been a huge gift.
And can you tell us a little bit about kind of how and why you ended up coming back to horses? What brought you back to these 4-legged creatures?
Absolutely. So as all of my kids have special needs, and as the diagnoses started to roll in for my kids, and I couldn't go back to a job that I loved and was really good at, just my kids couldn't handle me being gone for the 12-hour shifts at the hospital. And I couldn't manage all of the stress that came with working in critical care and then coming home to kiddos that needed a lot of extra from me as well. So I had 2 kiddos who were riding here and had connected to horses. And so I just sent an email and said, hey, I used to do this a long time ago. I'm wondering if there's any way I could just work in the barn, be around horses, do something. So that's how I started here, supervising in the barn. And I was good with that. The whole not liking to be the center of attention thing. And then my friend Kat said to me, hey, I think there's more in there. There might be some things that you know how to do. And so,
Shocking.
I know, shocking, right? That's not how Kat rolls at all.
No,
and
very subtle
the fact that she was
understated.
nice about it is
She was.
like,
Guys, I
it's
am
more like,
subtle and understated. I don't know what you're talking about.
I put that nicely. Let's go with that.
yeah. This is,
And,
you know, she says the same
I
thing
was
about
her
me.
bite in the ass,
You
guys.
are,
I was
always.
her bite in the ass. Like
that
I
is my motivator. Always. Follow you blindly with my passport. You know it. My wallet.
I've done that blind, actually, so it's okay. She does not walk you into water. She does
Often,
very
not often.
well. No, at least you stopped me from falling. I mean,
Yeah, and so since then it has grown into being back riding competitively, being back teaching. As Kat said, I run our adaptive lesson program here at A&T. So we use horses for therapeutic endeavors with kiddos who have additional needs, autism, intellectual disabilities, ADHD, trauma, FASD, and I get to see the magic power of horses every week, which is pretty special.
so the magic power of horses. How has it affected your own personal healing journey?
So I was thinking about this last night when you sent the questions, and a few things. So when
And we're totally off topic of the questions. I said,
that's okay.
We're at the thing.
Um,
For riding a horse.
exactly.
Ride the horse you have today.
That's right. Ride what's underneath you. So when I was young, horses were just a safety net. So I've always struggled with anxiety, and horses require you to be entirely in the moment with them. So you don't get to be at what is next, what's ahead, what is required. You have to be in the moment. I also retrained thoroughbreds off the track. So you really have to live in the moment or else you die. And you can't bring your feelings, thoughts, raging insides to the situation. You can, but then you
go well. It's kind of like flying a kite.
Yes.
You learn the taste of the ground more than you
do.
ever want.
Gravity gets stronger. It is stronger.
Irregular dismount.
Yeah. So you have to learn when you have special needs kiddos, you learn a lot about co-regulation. So we learn to self-regulate because we learn how to co-regulate from people who are safe for us. And in that journey, I've learned horses were one of the first places I learned how to be a co-regulator, because you have to project a sense of calm, project a sense of that you know that you have everything under control, even though you have absolutely nothing under control. But your horse is looking to you to create that situation. And so horses were one of the first places that I learned to co-regulate, which I then carried into. I'm also an adoptive parent, so kiddos who have come from traumatic backgrounds, autistic kiddos who have nervous systems that just are hypersensitive to everything in the world. And so, yeah, even when I was young, horses were the first place I was learning to kind of regulate myself in order to regulate something else. So that is the magic power of horses. For me, how I see it in the kids that I work with is I have the privilege of working with little muffins who don't, who everything is extra hard for. So they are maybe not yet verbal. They are up against all kinds of challenges, and they come here, and the horses have zero judgment for how they interact in the world. They have zero judgment, and all they want is a connection and a relationship. So I get to see little muffins, little duckies who struggle to interact in the world, who live very much in their own worlds, and the horse will meet them and continue to bring them into a relationship with them. I get to see little ones who are struggling with coordination, are struggling with strength, who I have a little girl who now struggles to get on and off the ground. She's now since decided she's not using the big block to mount anymore. She can get on and off her horse. She tacks her horse with help. She walks her horse in. She gets on.
Sounds
she
like
gets
a horse
off.
girl.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
I love it.
She's learning to communicate to her horse in sign language. She uses, she's doing cross body movements. So it's horses they meet us where we're at. They're entirely non-judgmental, and then they help to carry us forward.
So I have a question about the carry us forward, and this is maybe a mean, unfair question because I know
another one. I was like, purple coming.
That's very surprising out of me. But just because I do know so much about your journey and process, can you dive deeper into what actually made you that kind of breaking point that you, your family, your husband kind of hit, and that kind of thrust you back to here, thrust you into sending that email to the barn saying, I just need to be near the animals. I don't even care if I ride them. I just need to be there.
So I have a PTSD diagnosis from my time in critical care medicine. A decade of having your hands inside other people's cracked chests and
I would do it.
Working with transplant patients, trauma. I worked on a burn unit for 5 years. So some of the worst things that you will ever see, and the humanity inside all of that. And then I have kiddos who have big behaviors and emotions, and sometimes that comes out at the people that they love because those people are safe. Sometimes, often, that comes out at the people that they love.
I do. I
think we all do
a bit more self-regulation these days.
No, I'm going to go with the these days.
Yeah.
We all have it though, right?
Exactly. So I was back at counseling, just not seeing a way out, a way forward in my life. The days have become there's not a lot of change sometimes, right? It takes a lot of time for growth out of behaviors. And my counselor said to me, is there anything that has not in your life that has not been touched by this? Is there anything that still holds joy? And I said, well, a long time ago, I used to ride horses. And she said to me, well, is there any way you could do that again? And I said, well, I can try. Let's see. And so I sent that email, and here we are.
And a fun fact about her journey back to riding, she had not jumped horses. She'd ridden for a hot minute. And I didn't know this. She ended up getting signed up by Rebecca, who you just saw, for a jump clinic. The full courses of jumping. And she had jumped one cross rail in how many years? 17 years. And just starts going in the clinic because she just is leap off the cliff with us. And that's how we became really fast friends.
I learned that day. I will follow her anywhere.
Blindly. Now she's a dressage rider, guys. It's so awesome.
Can I ask you, I'm totally off cuff, but hey, we're here.
We're here.
Is there a particular moment when you came back to horses that? Oh, see, this is gonna make me emotional because I can feel the energy of this. Yes,
Hence the crier. You'll see tears.
Really?
You'll see, yeah.
Yeah. You want to challenge that one?
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
This will be like an
is
episode
there a
for
horse
episode.
that's just brought you back?
Yeah. So the other part of all of this is that I was in a car accident about a year before I came back, so about 6 months before I came back, and had a spinal cord injury and some ongoing nerve damage and chronic pain as a result. And so from that settlement of the car accident, I had a little bit of money, and my husband said to me, well, it's yours. What are you going to do with it? Why don't you buy a horse?
He's a good husband. More husbands should be like that.
I know, right?
Go buy a horse.
Which was shocking because I never thought that was going to get the green light. We have 5 children and a whole ton of responsibilities. So, and so Kat and I headed out on this journey of horse shopping, and
we saw some trash out there, but.
And we met this very special little hippopotamus.
Her name was actually Marshmallow when we got her because she looked like a marshmallow. She was fat and lumpy and hairy and just like not cute at all. There was like total ragamuffin. She was a total scruffalump, ragamuffin, backfield. No one had loved and cared for her.
So she came into my life, and her name is Riesling. Her show name is Everything Happens for a Riesling.
Oh, I love that name.
And she is just steady and good and kind, and would sleep on the bottom of my bed if I would let her. She is entirely a mommy's girl.
She's actually a lap dog in the body of a horse.
Yes.
Yeah, like a Labrador retriever, but like put into a horse.
We had some cat was like, do you know how to steer? And I was like, she just loves you. She's trying to jump into your lap. There's nothing I can do to get this horse away from locked onto you. This is what's happening.
And she would like gallop after the fence into my arms and then just pull like,
she's like, I did it. Did you see me go over the 3-6 flats there? Look at me, it's so good. Hold me. So she gave me back my wings, and then even as my back injury has not allowed me to continue jumping, has helped me to learn to play in the sandbox and be a dressage rider, which will be Kat's greatest achievement to date, to turn this jumper rider into
that
a
is
dressage
usually
rider.
her goal.
I literally already bragged about it.
She did.
Yeah.
She totally did.
Yeah.
And now you, through all of this and the craziness, have 2 horses. Can you tell us a little bit about your second horse that you have and why?
This is how it happens, by the way.
This one is not
Rebecca
mine. The second horse belongs to my son Liam, and her name is Scarlett. Liam is 11. He is autistic, and there is a lot that is very hard in this world for Liam. And he met this horse, and it was an instant heart connection for the 2 of them. She is a rescue, and was extremely wary of men. And there was this little boy that she just decided she was going to give her whole heart to.
And this was another blind follow situation. I was like, I found the perfect horse for your child who has autism. It's green. It's been abused. It's not trained.
It was beyond
perfect. You can't put her bridle on because she has so much trauma. She's perfect. And I knew we needed work, but totally, it was going to be perfect.
Mm-hmm. And they after a lot of work on mommy's end, they canter around little courses at Thunderbird. So she is his everything. If he could take her into the world with him at all times, that would make the world a much better, easier place.
You know what? There are blind leading ponies. There's I know because I looked into this, and it's a thing. So there's got to be a way.
I just see Liam 15, 16, going grocery shopping, leading his horse into the store because that's his. I could see that.
I would do it.
I tried. I'm not actually kidding.
And she'd probably follow him.
That's what I mean.
She would go where he goes. So
yeah.
So that is my second horse. She tolerates me, and I tolerate her. And
she's not hers, basically.
That's right. And she would move heaven and earth for my kid. So
perfect.
It's crazy, like how special horses find their people and just like latch on and become so invested in our own health and our own wellness and journey, and just give themselves so freely to us. It's really
how they
magical.
give us our lives back, ourselves back. Like, and they crack doors, and I say crack because it's true.
Sometimes they kick them down.
I was gonna
Or
say,
bite, or and they open the door that we refuse to walk through, and pretty much push us through, and then lock it on the other side and meet us on the other side, going, "You're not going backwards.
Welcome. I've been waiting for you.
Welcome to the funny farm."
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for being a part of this today and sharing your experience and journey. We will definitely have you back and dive deeper into some more of the horse love and passion.